pale blue dot.
Is this your first podcast?
Yeah.
Have you always wanted to do one before?
Not really. Like, I feel like us just chatting normally is like a podcast.
Yeah. Except there's a microphone facing us.
Yeah.
And a computer. And a camera. And 70 people over
pressure.
there. I know.
No pressure.
So, what did you get up to this weekend?
What did we do?
No. Hang on. I'm going to rephrase that. How was your sound healing experience this weekend?
Oh yeah, great. So good. But it's the first time I've done it, so I've got nothing to compare it to. Nothing.
So what was it all about then?
So, we went into a room. There was a guy.
What is sound healing? What's sound healing?
Sound, apparently, I've never done it before, but sound healing is like a form of meditation. So, you go in and they play like, they've got the sound healing bowls. He does like a drum. I'm just putting this in like layman's terms so people get it. And yeah, he does like sound clearing, like clears out the energy with his voice, just feel hoo-ha about it. Yeah, it was really good. I think we like meditated for like an hour and a half when we lay down. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
I've literally never done it before, but I was meditating for a while.
Because I've never heard about sound healing.
I think it's just the vibrations that get in touch with like the energy of your body. And it, like works with that. That's all. Clears things out.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
And so were you feeling anything?
I definitely felt the vibrations,
Yeah.
and I've had like fucking such weird dreams.
Yeah, I know.
Like crazy dreams since then, but I don't know. Like I can't compare it. Like I'm like, yeah, I meditate, but me. But doing the sound healing, I don't know. I can't say anything until I've done like 3 or 4, or tried out different sound healings.
And that's what he was saying as well. Like the shaman, it was a shaman, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a shaman.
Yeah, and he was saying that you should come back. You should totally come back. He wasn't Indian, was he? Yeah, so he was saying like you should come back and do another one.
No,
perhaps?
not at all. I love that when people are like, yeah, come back. But I love when they're like, yeah, that was great. Like whatevs. I hope you enjoyed it.
So, will you experience anything when you were doing it? Like, why would you say it was good?
Just because it was a different form of meditation. Like, I was just in a room. There was a group of people. There was loads of like crystals around, which I froth on. It was like a good vibe. I just liked it. I just liked the different environment.
Yeah.
I wasn't in a room on my own with my headphones on. Like, okay, I'm gonna meditate.
Someone locking the door
with my app.
Yeah. Headphones
in. There was other people there. It was good. Yeah, I liked it.
So who is Siobhan? Because this is your first podcast, eh?
I know.
Do you like it?
Yeah.
Having fun so far?
Yeah.
With our fresh microphone.
I know the road.
I know, it's mad. I know.
I don't even like. I can't compare this to anything.
I know.
I have no idea how it's gonna go. All I see is like people with their headphones on and shit.
I know. Well, that's how Bill and I have done it in the past with all our podcasts and things.
I know. And can I just say, I don't know if I should be proud of this or not.
Looks talky?
No, I've never listened to one of them.
Oh yeah, I know. Well,
So
you've told me and you've told Bill.
I've got nothing to compare it to.
I know.
Nothing. So I have no idea like what you're gonna ask or how this is gonna flow or what's gonna happen. I listen to my shit. You listen to your shit.
We listen to the same shit.
Oh, similar. I'd say. But
Well,
like,
what's some stuff?
I don't like. I have no idea how your podcasts go though. I don't know what you say or what you do or what you chat about. Nothing.
We chat a lot about the same stuff that you and I talk about all the time anyway.
Yeah. Well, you tell like. I feel like the reason I don't need to listen to it is because you tell me all this stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So, for people that don't know you, Shivy, give us like a little description. Because I think one of the reasons, obviously, why I like you so much as well, but is an interesting thing about you is your work is like the tip of the iceberg. And there are a lot of people out there that probably would, that know you, that would perceive you as Siobhan, the small little CrossFit coach. You know?
Thanks.
That tells everyone to stop being a bitch. But
Fucking do it.
yeah, but there's a lot more to you than meets the eye.
Yeah.
So who is Siobhan in 25 words or less?
Can I just say, I did speaking of meditation, we did a meditation this morning that was like, I am consciousness.
Yeah.
I am consciousness.
That was good.
And it was saying like, who are you? So
Yeah.
the unconscious is like every single day you're like renewing your person or you're becoming someone different all the time. Like who you are is who you are in the present. So the like conscious, or the person that people would be like, this is Siobhan, would be like a Scottish girl who's a CrossFit coach. This is what I like to think it was. I don't know the other shit.
She sucks.
CrossFit coach. I love partying. I fucking love going on adventures, traveling. Hence why I'm like in Australia. Yeah, I don't know. I just have like a passion for fitness, partying, adventures. Hence why like I started the blog post, because everyone was like, well, what else do you do?
Yeah.
What are you doing this weekend? Like, what are you doing tonight? And then they wanted to know more and more, and I'm trying to coach them. I'm like, look, you gotta shut up and work at it. But I'll blog about it.
Yeah.
And then
That's
people
good.
can read it. Yeah. So I just, annoying when I'm just going off that meditation, but it's like, this is your like unconscious, and this is your
because it's tough. Like, it's a tough question to ask. When someone asks like, who are you, you know, it's a tough question, because a lot of us identify ourselves through what we do, and through the people we know.
I wouldn't say like, if everyone's like, oh, so who are you? I wouldn't be like, I'm a CrossFit coach. Like, every day you're someone different. Like, or every moment you're trying to be, well, I don't know, I'm trying to be someone better all the time. Like, hence why like I meditate every day, I train every day, I research I fucking
You read a million blogs. I know.
They're like self-development shit. I love it. And I hate people who are like, oh, you're into all that self-help. Yeah, I fucking am. I love it. I love trying to make myself a better human. No matter what people say, I froth on that shit. Like, whether it's like, you know how much I love wellness, like obsessed. Sitting with my glass of wine.
It's true.
Obsessed.
It's a low-cal mindfulness calorie.
No, it's a red Shiraz.
Okay, fair enough. But yeah, part of making yourself a better person as well is in respecting how you're perceived as well, because you may be putting out something out there that you're getting a lot of negative energy back from a lot of the time, and it's kind of like, oh shit, like I've got to be aware of this and got to respect that. You know, this has come up once or twice now. What am I putting out there? You know?
Yeah, totally.
Has that been enough?
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I know you are. I know you're whatever.
I don't even care. Like, yeah. I don't know. I feel like when I started researching the whole like negative energy and negative, I would say like negative people, just people that are not in your wavelength. I'm like, out of my life. Like, out of my face. You're not ruining my little bubble. So I just, I literally just cut it out.
But what if well, elaborate on that. What do you mean?
I just feel like I try and be on this wavelength of as much as I can to be positive that relates to me. So maybe your positive like energy or positive vibes might be completely different, which is fine. But I feel like if people are on the same wavelength, because you attract the people that you're similar to. Like, that's what I truly believe. So if you're someone that puts out your positive energy, whatever that is, you're going to attract the same people. So I feel like I try and attract that. And obviously you can't help that every day, especially within like my job where I'm dealing with different people all the time. Like, you just attract and you stick with people that are like, I don't know, on the same wavelength as you. Like I always attract people that like meditate or are into like going out and partying, because obviously I go out and party with them, or like the amount of people that have said to us like, oh, like, where are you going this weekend? Try this adventure, try this walk. And like, that's what you're attracting, because that's what you're like giving out.
It's interesting, like, just to play devil's advocate on that, because obviously
always.
Yes, it's one of the reasons why I love you. That's great.
Shoot.
Yes, so what would you say, how would you say that to your younger self, or someone that maybe isn't open? You can see that they have potential to be a lovely, spirited, positive person, as we all obviously want the best for ourselves, but they're just not open to that. So they could be, you know, eliciting that negative energy. Is that a situation where you would just push that straight away, or would you be open to exploring that? It's a good question.
I know.
What do you reckon?
So what if I came across someone that was like so fucking negative, and I'm like, oh, you're a drainer?
Yeah. Because I mean, you can help. I mean, obviously, and this is not to say that, you know, Shivvy's up here and, you know, negative.
God, no.
You know.
I like I said, like, you attract people in the same wavelength as you, and that's it.
Wherever
like,
that wavelength is, for sure. Yeah. And if you're receiving or feeling energy that's kind of maybe not mixing with yours, would you straight away push that away, or would you be open to opening up a conversation with them, or talking, or?
I feel like like, say, the only way I'd, like, really push that or be like, try this, try that, if it was, like, family, friends, or a client.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe someone, like, I coach every day.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'd be like, try and switch it around, or, like, maybe, like, if they're saying something negative, be like, yeah, but what about this? Like, look at the positive side of it. Or, have you read this? Have you read that? Like, or if they read, like, you'll always find something you can kind of, like push into it. Like, say they read, or they go out and do something, or they're complaining all the time, like, but then you get the people that just complain 24/7, and you're like, you're a lost cause.
Yeah. But we've been there, where we've complained a lot about things, and, you know, what's that?
I'm like, get back in the tent.
Yeah. Well,
No,
absolutely.
but you're, like, you don't, like, in saying that, you're totally allowed to vent. But I feel like you find your one human that you vent to, that's your human, you vent to them, and that's it. Like, don't vent to anyone else. Like, I hear people complain, the same person complain every single day, all the time. I'm like, man, you need to, like, like, I'm not gonna be like, you need to change your fucking life. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Complaining's a funny one. I think we're all subject to it, and we can all fall into our ego sometimes and complain, you know, about things all the time. But I think if you keep complaining and blaming the universe and all that sort of stuff, it's only going to give back what you put out there.
Yeah, we'll sort your shit out.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I've never met someone more direct than you. That's for sure. So interesting.
Yeah, but I don't know, like, when something's wrong or something's continuously, like, you keep coming upon the same thing, then you research it, or you change it, or you look into something else. Like, I don't know, I feel like as a human being, that's just, like, standard shit to do. It's
not, though.
I know, but it should be. Like,
I know. I totally agree.
Make yourself better.
I totally agree. But a lot of people are stuck in ruts, and they can't see the truth, you know? I was there.
I know, I was going to say, you did it, but you sorted your shit out, right?
Yeah, but it wasn't a simple case of, that's it.
No, I know. Well, it's a journey. Like,
totally.
every single person has their own journey. Like, I feel like if you're seeing someone every day that's, like, hating life or going through shit, you see people improving. Like, you do see some people improving, and that's, like, what you did.
Yeah.
Like, I watched you change.
You did? Yeah. That'll sound weird. No, but it was definitely...
transformation.
Yeah, exactly. No, that was... and a lot of that transformation happened before we even met, really.
Yeah, exactly.
I definitely felt like I was definitely feeling more like Tom Ahern, you know, as opposed to maybe what I thought the world wanted Tom Ahern to be, you know, which was great. But something that I'm going to ask you on the show, you know, that you've never really given me a good answer to, which I just can't understand, is where did you learn about...
Fuck, you always ask me.
It's a fascinating question for me. It really is. Like, where did you learn about personal responsibility and learning to, as you say, sort your shit out? Like, how? Because not everyone's like that, you know? Not everyone's like... I wasn't, for sure. I wasn't someone that I didn't understand that blaming the universe and complaining all the time wasn't a healthy thing. It's what a lot of people do. It's what, you know, we can all do when we fall into that path.
Yeah.
Where did that come from?
So my poor mum. But I moved out at, like, the age of 16. Like, I was so young. I was like, fuck this shit. Like, I was a real rebellious teenager. And my poor mum, like, she was a fucking legend. Just to put it simply. I moved out when I was, like, 16, 17. And, like, then on in, it was like, right, you're on your own. It's like bills. What have you got to do? Like, you got to set up your house, set up your place. Like, I was still working. I was like, shit, like, this was on. But I actually just went into it so naturally. Like, I can't even remember, like, asking mum or anything for money. I was just like, right, I'm on and this is it. But I loved it. I was like, okay, what else can I do to, like, be more independent? And then I feel like most people have heard of it, but I came across the book The Secret, and I read it when I was 17, and I'll never ever forget reading it. And for me, like, that was the earliest, like, life-changing moment, and it was all about the law of attraction, putting out positive energy, and you'll get it back. And I'm like, do you know what? I'll try it. Like, what the fuck? I've read this, like, self-help book that I love. I'm gonna try it, and it worked. Like, I was like, okay, what else can I do? And I feel like that got me to Australia. I feel like that led me in the direction of coaching, like helping, because I was obsessed with, like, I wouldn't say obsessed, but I just loved fitness. Like, I loved the feeling I got. I loved, like, meeting people in the gym. I loved training at school. Yeah, like just reading that book, which explains everything in it towards like being a positive person and changing yourself, be a better human. Like, yeah, that's.
Why do you think it had such a profound impact on you?
I don't know. Like,
Because
I literally,
it's so woo woo to a lot of people, you know.
fuck yeah! Like, I still hear about people talking about the law of attraction, the universe. Well, whatever, it worked for me. It did. Like, it seriously, like the whole manifesting and stuff worked. And then I attracted. I'll say attracted because I did. I worked at a gym in Scotland and I met my best friend today now, Ashley, who worked in the cafe, but I worked in the gym, which is like really weird because she was downstairs, I was upstairs, but we were just like bang, like straight away. She'd read The Secret, I read it, we discussed it, and we're both like, yeah, this shit works. Like, we're both really positive and like we'd keep each other like on track, and then our friendship just like grew. Like, we're still, fuck, that would have been like 14, 13 years ago.
That was like before I was born.
Yeah, pretty much. When Tom was just a little
I was just a little, I was a wee baby.
Right. And I attracted her, and then that was it. I was like, shit, like someone else read it. And then you always meet more and more people that read it. And then that was it. And then I just kind of like, I think I like bought it for friends. I'm like, you guys should read this. Because I wanted like everyone to know about it and everyone to read it.
And so what's the synopsis of the book, The Secret?
Just in terms of like what you put out there, you get back. So like positive thoughts that you put out there, like you get them back to you. Things that you think about, like you manifest. So it's like you ask the universe, you believe it, and you receive it, whether that's positive or negative. So whatever that is, I'm like, fuck yeah, like we all have negative thoughts, but the vibration of the positive thoughts is way higher. So it's just, it was all about that. And then since that, when I was younger, I totally put that into practice. Like, I feel that's kind of weaned off a little bit. But yeah, like that just completely changed my life. Moving out, reading that book, and then being like, right, that's it.
Yeah. Because it's different. I feel like we need to make a distinction between the idea that it's not just, oh, I'm going to think of, you know, finding $1 million. Yeah. And then it's going to be there.
Standard,
yeah. It's got to be, I feel like there's a degree of personal responsibility with it again though, because
totally.
you need to know what you're trying to ask for.
Yeah.
You need like to be connected to self, to be like, okay, I'm not going to be like, oh yeah, I want 1 million hot chicks in here. I want like 1 million hot dudes in here. It's like, no, I actually really do want to achieve this goal that will help me along my path to authenticity. And then building and manifesting on that will actually lead you there.
Well, you got to believe it.
Totally.
So if you are like, I want $1 million, but you don't believe it in the slightest that you're going to get $1 million, you're not going to fucking get $1 million.
Yeah.
So that's like the whole part of it. So I feel like it's things that are within your reach of what you believe. So if you believe you're going to get something, like, I was like, I remember working in the gym and I asked all these people that were literally like, you know, the standard walking on the treadmill, but I'm like, I'm just going to ask them, like, I was obsessed with asking, like, what's your regret? What do you wish you did? Because obviously I kept trying to like improve myself. And every single one of them said travel. And then I was like, right, I'm going to travel. So I went to the States, and then I was like, right, where next? Went to Australia, my poor mum. I was like, see ya. And then I was like, I only came here for a year for work experience, and then I just loved it.
But it still begs the question, where did this all come from?
The book!
I know, but you were already doing this shit by the time you read the book.
Not really. Well,
how old were you in the book?
17.
That's when you moved out of home when you were 16?
Yeah, 16, 17 when I read it. So it all happened at the same time. I would say that was the two big things.
Yeah, moving out of home's a massive thing, especially at that age.
I feel like because I did it when I was young. You know, when you're young, like nothing matters.
At that age, I just shaved my 3 hairs on my moustache.
I got my first pube.
Yeah, no, still waiting for that.
Yeah, I feel like it happened at one. But when you're younger, like moving out wasn't even a big deal. But I feel like if I moved out when I was like in my 20s, I'd have been like, shit, this, like, I'm an adult.
Yeah.
But already by 16, I was like, I'm adulting.
Wow, because everything was new anyway.
Yeah, I just like
puberty and all that shit was fresh.
Just took it in my stride. That was it. Yeah. Yeah.
And then you came to Australia, and what? Got a job straight away? What, like,
no.
Did you know where you were going to live?
So this is where the whole manifesting came into it. So I moved, I stayed with a friend which is so funny. I stayed with a friend in Caulfield South, which is around the corner from Sports, where I work. Like so weird. I stayed with her for a while until I found a place, and I was like, I want to work in the best gym in Melbourne. When I got here, I was like, I'm gonna do it. So South Pacific Health Club down in, it's, you know, the St Kilda sea baths where everyone goes. And at the time I was like doing the whole like bodybuilding just in the gym, like loving the machines and everything.
Getting a mad rig.
Yeah.
Working on the glutes.
Yeah, still am.
I like those glutes.
And I was like, right, I'm gonna do it. Like, I'm gonna work there, and I'll never forget it. I applied, and then it was like waiting. I was calling him every day. My manager at the time was called Chris. I just kept calling. And I had like my first interview. I think I had like 5 interviews, and I ended up working for them. I said to myself, I'm giving myself 30 days. If I don't get it, I'm moving to another state or somewhere else, or I'm going back home. Well, not back home. I was just like, I'm going somewhere else. And on that last day, I got the job, and that was it. Yeah, got the job at South Pacific, and then I just stayed. Like, I just got introduced to CrossFit, and then I just loved it, and then I was just stayed on. That was it.
Any tough moments?
Heaps.
Yeah.
Like, I was a young girl traveling. So many tough.
Can you tell me that you almost got sold with a camel in Egypt?
Yeah.
That's insane. I love it how you just laugh that off. That's insane.
I feel like people that
nearly got sold.
that go to Egypt and have been there will just know it's like, that's cash. That's normal.
hectic. Yeah.
It's literally like a homeless person in Melbourne being like, $1.
Yeah, they're getting sold. Do dudes get sold off there as well?
Probs.
That's insane.
I don't know.
Yeah. And so what other books has like impacted? Because I bought you a book for your birthday and you've still not read it.
I know. It's because I watched so much of his shit.
Yeah, I know.
I'm just like, I'll get to it.
Yeah. Any other books?
That was the major, like, I don't know, like, you've seen all my books, all of them are half read.
I know. Yeah, but that just could just be like, you feel like you've gotten enough.
I've taken it, yeah.
Yeah.
I was speaking about this the other day, actually. It's like, you read half of it and you've already got all the information you need.
Yeah.
And the second half of it is like confirming the first half of the information. No, I would just say it was just like all her books. I actually read them all. I feel like they're just amazing. Probably because I was hooked on the first one when I was like super young.
Yeah. And so, has it ever worked out against your favor?
No.
Any of that manifestation sort of stuff? I suppose it's different because you start to perceive your reality in a different way, and then it's like, oh, cool. I think that is an area where I feel the placebo effect is really, really important, because irrespective of how you see the world, irrespective of the belief you hold, because belief, you know, if we're speaking scientifically, if we're speaking logically, a belief is just a thought that makes you feel good. There's nothing to it, you know.
No.
So for all intents and purposes, you could have just read these books at the right time, the right place, and it just changed your world because you just totally believed it. You know, obviously I believe it. I believe it too. I really love that idea of the law of attraction. You know, we always talk about it with us. But you know, fundamentally, if it's just a thought that makes you feel nice, that could just be all it is, and there could be nothing to it.
Yeah, you can believe what you want.
Exactly, as long as you're not hurting anyone else.
Yeah.
And so, did you ever get into religion or anything?
No.
I wonder why.
I don't know, I just didn't.
Lots of beliefs.
Yeah, but I feel like coming from Scotland, like, it's definitely not a huge thing there. Like,
Is it really?
Not, like, respect is huge, I'd say, but not, like, religion. Like, I just didn't get into it.
So it's like a pretty... Is it not a big... I don't know much about Scotland. Is it like Catholic?
That's where we need to go.
Yeah, I know. Is Catholic a big thing over there? Catholicism?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it was a big thing. It's a thing, but not a big thing. Like, it's just, normal.
Yeah, normal.
Well, like, there's not, like, big or small. It's just there. Like, it is what it is.
For sure, yeah. And so then what else? Like, what else has been... So you came here, you read The Secret, and then what was next?
No, I read The Secret, then I came here.
Sorry, you read The Secret, then you came here. And then what was next on the... I guess we probably couldn't call it spiritual journey yet, but what was next on the personal growth journey after CrossFit?
I don't know, really. I don't know, just always trying to, like, improve myself, I guess. Like, yeah, I don't know. Always just trying to be a better person, better at my job, better friend, like, all that sort of stuff.
Well, we could talk about what you've been reading a lot about recently. Well, you want to move into eating a few portobello mushrooms?
No, I absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been reading heaps about psychedelics. Like, I'm so so interested in doing it. Like, obviously, there's like meditation, and like discovering like the unconscious, and discovering, like, I always want to know more about yourself and like what's in there.
Totally.
I don't even know how I came across it, because you've been going on about it. Like, you had your super bad trip.
Which actually turned out to be the most amazing trip.
Yeah, absolutely. But you've talked about that for like a whole, like, I've known that for a whole year.
Yeah.
And I've not even like wanted to discover anything. But recently, it's just been like I've been manifesting.
Yeah.
It's just in my face. I'm like, I really want it. Like, I really want to try mushrooms.
Yeah.
I just want to see what comes up. Apparently, you're meant to discover yourself, and ayahuasca. Like, I've just been frothing on the ayahuasca blogs.
I know.
Like,
yeah.
I really, like, ideally, I want to go to Peru. I want to try ayahuasca, and yeah, just see what. Because apparently, all like the negative shit or the trauma in your life that's happened that maybe you don't think about now, but it comes up, and like you purge and you vomit and shit.
Yeah. Well, do you shit as well?
Yeah, you shit as well.
Oh, do you? No shit.
All that stuff comes out, all that negative energy. I'm like, just so keen to try it.
Because it's a metaphysical concept, isn't it? That when you say purging, you're not physically vomiting. You just get the feeling like you are, or you do vomit as well.
Physically vomiting.
Oh, really?
Shitting.
Oh,
yeah.
really?
Yeah, that's all like in the shaman word. Like, that's all your negative energy coming out.
Oh, really? It's intense. So does that not scare you a little bit?
No, I'm like, bring it on. Like, what's next?
So how? Yeah. So it's a lot of people find it difficult to build their letting go muscle and the ability to not repel energy for then it to become negative, and this is why people develop things like anxiety and resentment and fear and all these sorts of things, because they put these walls up to protect themselves from whatever they think they need to be protected from,
So is that what you think you did? Like, put up walls?
Lots and lots of walls. Yeah. Lots of walls. But I was putting up walls to guard something that I didn't even know I was trying to guard. I feel like I was fundamentally so disconnected from who I was authentically, that I was just doing all these things and following all these things and just taking in the wrong stimuli and all these things. And I didn't even know why. And it took a lot of unraveling, it took a lot of, there was the spiritual aspect of it for me to have the mushrooms and then, have all these things fall apart, externally. And then
that was like a bad trip, though. You were like, this is really fucking bad.
Yeah, well, it built the walls up even worse. I had massive walls up because, again, you've pushed me to even start talking about mushrooms again. I'm like, but then it's been really, but they've been great. They've been really good, but it's been seemingly much less difficult for you to develop a letting go muscle and go deep within yourself but like not even again spiritually, to push yourself out there and travel and meet new people. I mean, you have to remember you're 3'2".
Yeah.
You're this little Scottish girl.
What is that?
What
to do with me traveling?
No, because like a lot of people, you're physically, not. If you came across, if I came across you in the middle of the night, I'd be like, probably a good chance I could take her.
Is it?
Well, yeah, because people don't know you, because I don't know that you could fucking, I don't know, out squat me.
Drop kick you.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying though?
Yeah.
If you were a 7-foot person, I'm like, okay, you probably have a bit. Again, it's totally judging the book by its cover.
Know,
but you're very little, and you're just so brave. You're super brave, and you feel like you can take over the world. That's one of the reasons why I love you. But where did this come from? That ability just to let go and just.
I just don't see it as like a thing. Like, that's always been me. I feel like Mum said, like, I've always been super independent, and probably because like she's brought us up as like she brought us up by herself as a single parent and did a fucking amazing job, but she brought us up as like two individual women that just, like, my sister traveled as well the same time as me. Like, we both just went and did our own shit because that's just the way she brought us up. Like we were working young, like, because that was the best thing for us, because independently we're like, right, you need to earn money to get like this and to do stuff. Like, yeah, I just think the whole letting go thing was me. I don't know, like I was so interested in travel from a young age, and people's regrets. I was obsessed. Like, what do you regret? What do you regret?
That's
like,
good.
I want to do that.
Yeah, it's totally fair.
I don't want to regret anything. And like doing shit that makes you happy. Like fitness and seeing people do fitness and get better at it made me so happy. Like I still get goosebumps. Still watching people do their first pull up, their first push up, or saying they made 3 classes in 1 week. Like I still get goosebumps. Yeah, I just love it. Yeah.
And why? Why do you love that so much?
Love what?
Having people say that sort of thing to you and do those sorts of things, and you know, building a better relationship with their body and their physicality.
Just because, like, I was there to help them do it or witness it. Like, it's so special that to be a part of someone else's journey of making themselves better. Like, Ashley, my best friend, was, like, a huge part of mine.
Yeah.
Huge. Yeah.
So, what do you think you would, let's just say we found ourselves in Peru, which we probably will.
We absolutely will.
Yeah.
We are going. Like, that is next on the list.
Yeah. And you drank the ayahuasca. What do you think you would see?
This is why I want to take it, because like I want to see because it's all like hidden shit, hidden demons and hidden stuff that's inside you that you've not come to terms with. So I don't know, like I have no idea what will come up.
But they also say that the subconscious will try to push that stuff to you, you know, because we have to remember that you don't need to do all this stuff to become a happier person. You know, you can meditate.
I'm not doing it for that reason.
No, I totally
like,
know
I
that.
just want to investigate myself.
Yeah, as do I, for sure. Yeah, no, but I mean, you can meditate and you can build better relationships. You can talk more honestly, and you can actually lead a more honest life by not lying to yourself and others. And
totally.
You do all these. I mean, ecstatic dance has shown profound impacts on people's lives and stuff. You know, drugs like MDMA, ayahuasca, psilocybin, DMT. You know, these are. I mean, tribes have known about this stuff for thousands of years.
I know.
But it's only becoming new in the Western world. Do you feel like you will see something with the ayahuasca and with potentially the psilocybin that you may not have already come to recognize through your meditation and through building a better relationship with your body? And
I don't know. Like that's why I want to try it, because I'm like, is there anything left for me to work on or for me to see or for me to do? Because I want to fucking do it, and I feel like that's gonna like bring it out of me. Yeah, like I feel like I can meditate, but I'm like, is there something more? And if there's something more that can like get into that, then I'm like, right,
happy to build it.
Yeah.
What if it completely like changed your life around?
No.
Tom's a douche. CrossFit sucks. Go back to Scotland.
That's the way I've got to go.
Yeah. Goodbye, Tom. Yeah. I know. Goodbye. That'd be hectic. Like, whoa, fuck this ayahuasca.
Nah, I wouldn't. It just brings up shit that you're apparently not dealing with. So whatever that is, I want to deal with it. I want the challenge.
It's good.
Yeah.
But people, so yeah, this is what I was talking about before. So they say that the subconscious, and I've definitely noticed this with my own journey as well. Like the subconscious will try to push what it wants you to try to move away from or move towards into the conscious, whether that's through the physical manifestation of pain, you know, then hey, maybe you should just kind of stop doing this all the time. You know, if you're always getting back pain, hey, you shouldn't be doing this. Pain is like a sign, you know, that maybe you should change up a couple of things. If you're always stressed at work, hey, you know, spend some time with yourself to kind of figure out that maybe it's not everybody else's fault. Maybe it's the work, or maybe it's the fact that you're perceiving work negatively and all this sort of stuff, you know. Can you think of, I just really want to dive into this.
I know.
It's interesting. I love it. Yeah. Can you think of like anything in your life that you feel maybe you have a negative relationship with, that you feel potentially like it could come up in this trip because it's your subconscious trying to push you to move away from or develop a different like relationship with? Or is it Tom asking these questions?
I know, fuck's sake. Let's just get on the
Tell me about your life.
Get on the podcast where she has to answer everything that I don't know.
I know.
I don't know.
It's a tough question.
Not really. I just don't know the answer to it.
Yeah. Because I got a mate that did ayahuasca, and he said he didn't get anything from it.
Yeah, well, some people don't.
Yeah. Because the reason he said that is because he reckons he was just in a good spot in life.
Yeah. Yeah, see, that would be really disappointing.
I know. You want your money back from that flight. This is ridiculous.
There must be something.
Yeah, I know. Oh, God. I know.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, there's nothing that, hence why I want to do, there's nothing I can pinpoint that's going to be like, you need to deal with this or deal with that. Because I feel like maybe I've dealt with it, but yeah.
But you never know, hey?
No.
Because until you break down those walls wholeheartedly and observe that.
Maybe we can do another podcast when I've done it.
Yeah.
So this came up and this came up and this came up.
We could do a podcast while we're on it. Damn it, how doing this?
I can't vomit into the new
I know.
mic.
Not the new mic. Are you liking the new mic?
Love it. I don't know. Like, what am I comparing it to?
The headphones?
No,
you were never on.
wearing the headphones.
Yeah, it's true. So where would you want to go most in the world then? What's your biggest travel destination?
Italy. Everyone hears me talk about it. I'm like, I feel like I've been ever in Europe apart from Italy. Like, why didn't I even go? Yeah. Italy.
Have you not been there before?
No, Italy's the number one destination.
And then?
Don't know. I love Bali. Only because I lived there. I love Bali.
We'll totally go back there for sure. Bali's a lovely spot.
Where do you want to go?
Where do I want to go? I really want to go to France.
I'm not fucking there! Mister, I speak a little bit of French.
Oh, therefore I can tell you. Yeah, well, I mean, I can say fromage. Do you know what that means? Miss, I learned French at school, therefore, yeah.
I was actually going to say yogurt, but I'm like, no.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I just want to see the whole world.
Yeah.
I love it, you know. I think every experience I've had overseas has just been so good. To meet people that are completely different to me in every way. I'm like, how do you see the world like that? You know, that was one of the things with us. When you first started talking to me about The Secret and all that sort of thing, I'm like, what?
Yeah, I know. Everyone thinks, I don't even talk about
Get
it.
a job.
Yeah, I don't discuss, I just don't feel the need to discuss it, even though I'm discussing it on the podcast, but people are like, oh, what the fuck, like this hoo-ha shit. Well, fine, don't try it, or try it, and it might help you. Like, I'm just saying it personally helped me, it doesn't mean it's gonna fucking help everyone.
Yeah, it's true.
It was my thing. But you've been using the law of attraction. Yeah,
I always had what's the word I'm looking for here? I always respected the idea of the law of attraction. I wouldn't say I'm into it as much as you are in terms of, you know, how profoundly it's changed your life and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. I think for me, my equivalent of law of attraction has been talking with people. Yeah. You know? Yeah. As we talk about all the time. That's really helped. You know? And obviously there are times when you and I disagree on shit. I'm like, Siobhan, we need to have an open, honest conversation. And you're like, fuck off. I'm like, what? This is killing me. Our religions are just vibing, you know? But, you develop your own tools. For sure. Definitely. Yeah. That was my go-to. I know. Yeah. I feel like ayahuasca could be the next law of attraction. Could you imagine? I know. Having a shit day ayahuasca. Yeah. Just send me some through. Can't do a bodyweight squat? Ayahuasca. Don't worry, don't use the pull-up bar. Ayahuasca. That would be great. What if everyone just tried ayahuasca? Not even done it yet. Just put it out there if anyone in Australia has it. Can they just contact me? Yeah. People just batching up cold brew ayahuasca. Yeah. Bit of caffeine, take it twice in the day. You'll love it. Have it in the morning. Have it with some cortisol. Mate, I'd be putting it in my water bottle. Oh my god. Can you imagine being coached by you in that class? Hey guys, how's it? Nah, I'd be on. You'd fast before it. Yeah, absolutely. It'd be good. Yeah. Well, good little way to end it. Yeah. Enjoy it? Yeah. What'd you rate it out of 17? I don't know, I've got nothing else to compare it to. True. Can you do it again? Yeah. After we take my ayahuasca. Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah. And this podcast is all about, you know, spirituality and mental health and authenticity and all that sort of stuff. So, it'll be interesting to see what comes up in the perch. Yeah, I can't wait.